Hi, Mike here on a very hot mid-May day, and a short video about the bike rack that I'm putting onto my Coachmen Beyond Class B campervan. If you saw the video about my collection of the van, you'll remember perhaps that I ordered it with a bike rack, but in fact it didn't come with the rack. Which was a bit disappointing, but that was a last-minute decision on my part when I ordered it over a year before getting delivery. I do have a bike rack already that attaches to a hitch that I use with my car, and I was able to use that for the van if I wanted to. Also, the rack that comes from Coachmen attaches directly to the door panels, and that's not the strongest type of way to attach. There are cases where those door panels have bent in the past, depending on how heavy the rack is and what kind of pressure it's putting on the door panels. So here's the existing rack that I have. It's a Coachmen rack that I have on my car. Here's the rack on the van without the bike. That's how it's folded up. And here's how it is folded down with the bike on it. Now the rack folds further down, as you can see, which allows the trunk of the car to rise, but it won't allow the van doors to rise. So that's not a great solution if I ever wanted to open the van door, rear door, while I was carrying the bike, which I suspect I would be wanting to do from time to time. So to get around that, I bought a Coachmen swing arm. There are other types of swing arms available from other manufacturers, but they all essentially work the same. And here's that swing arm on the van. And here it is with the swing arm with the bike on the bike rack. So here's the swing arm being swung out. It opens pretty easily, and once it's swung out, the van doors, rear doors, can be opened. And it's very easy to put the swing arm back. There is a disadvantage, well, a couple of disadvantages of using the swing arm. It increases the overall length of the van by several feet, as you can see. And it also affects the departure angle. So that means that if you're going through a slope change, like if you're coming out of perhaps a gas station onto the road, it can handle less of a change in the slope without the bike rack actually hitting the ground. And when I checked with somebody on Facebook, they pointed out that they had the exact same swing arm and bike rack that I have, and they found that it did affect them. It affected them leaving camping grounds, leaving gas stations. Although other people have found it's okay, but I wasn't very comfortable with that, having got that. So I decided to look at other options, not wanting to get the door rack from Coachmen. I wanted a better solution than that. So I looked at the aluminous bike rack, which is extremely strong because it attaches to the door hinges. You can actually add other things to the base apart from bike racks in the future, such as like a storage box. Unfortunately, it's very expensive, about $2,000, and the lead time was too long for me. It was about a 2 to 3 month lead time, and I needed it set up before then. I also looked at getting a prime design ladder with a ladder mounted bike rack, which is another combination that I've seen somebody have. The ladder attaches to the top and the bottom of the door, which is better than a bike rack that attaches directly to the door panels. The prime design ladder was available immediately locally. I was able to pick it up locally if I wanted it. I of course can use it as a ladder, and the price is only about $700K when you combine the ladder with the rack. On the downside, the bike rack itself is not very strong, and there have been reports of it bending with some people. But I'll only have one bike, even though it's a fairly heavy mountain bike, but it'll be on the support cradle nearest the ladder, so with physics that's less pressure on the bike rack itself. So I went ahead and bought the ladder bike rack. I got one from Camping World. The rack itself was fairly cheap, just to see if the bike would fit on it. And to get my bike on it, I've got to remove that second water bottle and the pump. So this was my test. I used a ladder that I've got at home and it fits. So I went ahead and bought the Prime Design ladder. Here's the Prime Design ladder installed on the van, and here's the bike rack placed onto the ladder. Here's the first test fit of the bike on the ladder. And here's the final fit with the bike turned the other way around so that the wheels don't stick out the side of the van at all. It's strapped on with various straps and bungee cords to make it completely safe. I wanted the bike to be able to stay on the ladder even if the rack were to break. And I got a very strong bike chain to avoid theft and also to help attach the bike to the ladder. But I mean, I know that a determined thief with the right tools can always steal a bike no matter what kind of lock you use. So I'm ready for the first trip of the bike. Thanks for watching.